Hey everybody, my name is Oshun the Great, and welcome. I always have stuff in my frame. Welcome to my beautiful channel. Okay, so today I wanted to kind of touch on the real reasons you are depressed. If you deal with depression and anxiety like I do, or I have dealt with basically my entire life, I'm gonna it's kind of like giving you guys an understanding of why you could be depressed, and I'll give you like some tips of how you can get yourself out of it. I always come up with these videos every now and again, so I might be touching on topics that I've already touched on or I've already discussed, but this is one of those topics that I want to bring back or bring up again and again, because I understand that people have the most issues with these types of situations. Keep in mind, I am not a doctor. um, but so this is just my theory of one aspect of how depression may work. Everyone is different. Everybody's different, but I'm just gonna kind of relate my story to depression and how I kind of feel less depressed in my life, and like what kind of what kind of caused the depression, to my knowledge. Okay, so what, you guys always know, if you've been sticking with me for a long time. For you newcomers, I always relate things to our outside sources, to our society that we live in, because it plays a big part in who we are as human beings. A large portion of our life spent as a child was absorbing the outside knowledge that people were giving us, whether it's parents, teachers, friends, siblings, the outside world itself. We were conditioned for years and years. Even now in adulthood, we're still conditioned on a daily basis to think a certain way, whether we realize it or not. Um, so with that being said, the one of the real reasons that you can be depressed is the fact that you could be listening too much to outside sources of, people telling you what to do, or telling you who you are, or what you may love, or how to create your life, or how to they're basically, you're listening too much to other people instead of listening to yourself. And a lot of that causes depression because, for one, you feel powerless, you feel hopeless. One of the main things that I understand as being a co-creator in this universe or on this planet is that we're here to do just that, to create. And one of the ways you can create is understanding that you have a choice to mold your life on a daily basis. It only takes one thing or one day to change your entire life, to move somewhere completely different, to meet someone new, or to get a new job, or to break up with someone even that no longer serves you. Like, we have so much power in creating our life and changing our life as much as we please, but a lot of people still believe, a lot of people still have this belief that everything in this world happens to us. And a lot of times when we're stuck in that limiting belief of reality, it causes depression, because we feel like there's no way out. We're stagnant. We are powerless. You always have power. Even when you think you don't, it's just a matter of your perspective at the time. A lot of times when we get in a dark space, it's really hard to see the light in a certain area of your life. Um, for example, a large part of why I was depressed when I was younger and growing up was I was in a very abusive and toxic household. And in that situation, it felt hopeless and helpless in itself, because I was powerless. I had literally no power. When you're young, you feel like you have no power to get out of situations. You're relying on your parents, things like that. But one of the ways that you can understand that, where your depression stems from, for example, is by reevaluating your situation around you. Um, you can ask yourself, is this situation serving me? Why am I so unhappy here? Because, believe it or not, a lot of my depression relieved. I relieved a lot of my depression by taking control of my own life, understanding that I'm the creator of my reality. So I got up, got my things moved, and you can't be afraid to keep moving until you're in a situation that suits you. So a lot of getting out of depression. But instead of taking it as far as like really dwelling in like suicidal tendency, you know, I really took it to the extreme, like, okay, there's no other option. I'm either going to have to better my life and do exactly what the fuck I want to do and not give a fuck what other people say, and live my best life of what I feel is my best life. And from then on out, I pretty much knew and understood that my life is my own. And the more you understand that, the more you make choices for yourself, the happier you'll be. Because then, even though if you make choices that don't seem to suit you or fail after your initial choice, you're still going to be happier because you made those choices for yourself. You didn't hand it over to your parents, hand it over to your boyfriend, hand it over to your girlfriend, or whatever the case may be. But I feel like if we start exercising our choice to change our life as much as we please, then we will be much better off. A lot of you guys may know that Jim Carrey has been speaking a lot of enlightened shit lately. And one of his quotes that I've seen floating around is, depression is your avatar trying to tell you that it doesn't want to play the character you're trying to play anymore. And that, again, that goes hand in hand to a lot of us still want to please our parents. We go to school for them. We go work a law firm or become a doctor because of them. All of those are great things. But if it's not truly what we want, truly what we desire, we'll ultimately be miserable and unhappy. So, you know, you're having this power struggle with your soul, what it's telling you to do and what you feel like you're obligated to do. And it causes turmoil and conflict in yourself. And it's really tearing you apart, and it's really draining. It's really destructive. But once you understand that there's only one way to be, and that is authentically yourself, no matter what that may come off to others. Some people might deem the starving artist a bum, or like some people may deem the free spirited woman a hoe or some shit crazy. You're like not able to settle down. Like, people will always try to conform you, make you conform when you're being yourself. But your duty is to ultimately be dope, be you unapologetically anyway. And like I always say, it's hard to be an individual in society when everybody's following the herd, when everyone's doing what everyone else is doing. It takes courage to be yourself and do what you like, do what you feel like doing, do what feels natural. Because believe it or not, I feel like we were created to be our authentic self. And once we sit in that power, then we can be provided for. But if we're pretending to be someone we're not, then the universe is getting mixed signals. You can't really supply what you need, the situation, the environment you need. For example, if you're if you're a musician or whatever, like, follow that bliss, and maybe then the universe can provide you halfway. Get you studio time, or gives you the situation of having friends who have access to instruments or things like that. It's really funny how the universe works, but you only have to start being authentic to yourself. Like, for the moment, and you constantly change. So understand and be patient with yourself that a desire you may have had at one point can also change. We are multifaceted beings, and we change constantly. And one of the things I noticed is, like, for example, when I had my wanderlust little split of time before I met my boyfriend and moved into an apartment, I had no idea what I was doing. I was just following my bliss. And a lot of alchemists understand this, is like, when you follow your bliss, the universe supplies you with what you need. And a lot of it has to do with faith and trust in yourself and your own abilities. And that's a very scary thing if you never had to rely on yourself and your own abilities and trusting in the universe or yourself. But it all goes back to, like, self-love, belief in oneself, understanding at the end of the day, even though a lot of people, this is very controversial, is that a lot of people, like, you understand that you are God. Everything is you and you are everything. So that is really powerful. But a lot of people aren't aware of their power. So they just roam around the earth until they die like zombies or robots. But yeah, so yeah, hopefully a video like this can help you awaken to your true potential or your power, or all my other videos as well. If you guys have any more questions, okay, so I pretty much broke down why you may be depressed, and just to recap, how you can pretty much get out of depression. I have a whole video on this though, so you guys can look around my channel. But basically, reevaluate your situation. Is who you're dating affecting you negatively? Be honest. Is your environment affecting you negatively? Be honest. Is your job bullshit and they don't give a fuck about you? Be honest. And then be courageous enough to change it. And that's with every aspect of your life: love, finances, your happiness, hobbies, whatever the fuck it is. Don't be afraid to change and change constantly. Life is built on constant change.